we can, you can show me or tell us how to go about doing whatever we need to do with the recording, and that way it's recorded too.
Yes, you are recording.
Hello, Dr. Turner.
Hi, hi.
See, it's little, the viewers there. There we go. So, in other words, do you look at the video, because like it's showing on my screen the video at the bottom right, or do you look more at the attendee list?
I don't check video because your students may not have a camcorder turned on or whatever. I look at the little crown with the number over the top of it.
Okay.
And for you, it says 4.
The attendee list. Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I look at.
Okay.
And when you're looking at it, you click it once and it shows everybody. You click it a second time and it minimizes that. So every once in a while you can take a look at it and say, okay, you know, I see that everybody except, well, I see Dr. Span is back, but she does not have her audio turned on or her video.
Okay.
So, see, because you don't see the gray dots.
Right.
Okay. So, and then, you know, I just go on and do my teaching and keep an eye on that number. If that number changes, that means I have either gained or lost someone.
Okay.
All right?
All right. So, all right. So then what?
One other thing you can do with your students, that's the practice part of this. One other thing you can do with your students is you can recommend that they maximize their screens. If they do so, if they maximize this video image thing, then they will not see all of their browser tabs across the top. It will be a single unified video that will mean they must pay attention to you. That's also a pretty good rule of thumb, so that they don't, you know, catch up on their email while you're talking and, you know, those sorts of things. It does happen.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you will maximize your screen, and it's the little screen, right? The web browser that we're showing, or that I'm seeing of the little. Yeah. That's what I'm asking them to maximize, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello.
I have several more that have joined.
This is Dr. Span. Yeah, Dr. Span here.
Hello, Dr. Span.
Hello there.
All right. And who else? We have Dr. Curry, Vicki Curry.
Oh, excellent.
And then there's no name showing, so I'm not sure who that is. Okay. All right.
Oh, the 410 phone number?
Yes.
That's Dr. Span dialing into your phone.
Okay. Okay.
You notice you see her name with the little video screen, but no dots. And then you see a phone number, and the phone is only audio. So you don't get the dots from that, but that is her dialing in with her phone. Correct, Dr. Span?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you actually have Dr. Span showing up twice. So of the 7 people, it's actually 6.
Actually 6 of us. Okay. All right. Well, we will get started then. And
just so you know, starting off with the Moodle in the foreground is an excellent place to begin. It's sort of your reference. It also teaches the students that it should be their reference. So it's very good to start there.
Repeat what you just said, sir.
It's best to have an opening screen for your students when they arrive. In other words, you have arranged what they're going to see when they get there. And to start with your Moodle, whatever you're teaching at the time, is excellent.
Okay, great. All right.
Now we have Elder Staton, who is arriving. You saw the name pop up down at the bottom.
Come across, yes.
Yep.
Okay,
and then you just heard the ding, which means he's on audio as well.
Excellent. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. How do you hear? How do you hear?
Welcome. I think I'm...
You're mighty popular.
Wow. Now I think I'm scared and nervous.
That's fine. As you're doing this, you're learning how to control all the various things that are going on in your screen, yet still maintain a running dialogue with your students so they can stay engaged.
Yes.
That's the practice.
All right. Okay.
So, will you be teaching ethics in the spring?
Yes, this is the one I'll be teaching, and I think I have decided on a day and time, so I'll get that email sent to you.
Okay.
I'm thinking I'm going to go Wednesday evenings.
Okay.
Yes.
And just for everyone's clarification, there are no bad times. There are no bad days. I had an elder that would teach on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. only, and that worked for him. So whatever, allows you to be most available, that's the time you choose.
And I was very tempted to do Saturday mornings. Only thing is, once a month our bishop calls a meeting with all the credential holders. So I had to weigh that in as to how I would do that.
Right.
But that was definitely the time I was looking at. All right, Elder Ward. What my next steps are here. You want me to follow a prayer?
Sure. However you start your class, and this is basically along the lines of, helping your students get connected, making sure that you've got a good presentation when they arrive, helping to control things when they get underway, and then launch into your teaching.
Okay. So does everybody see my screen?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. And then you guys can hear me as well. So I think I've heard everybody. I was able to speak with everybody as they came on. So we're good there. Okay. Well, then I guess we'll go forward for the next few minutes, and then we will quickly turn it over to Elder Ward. Yes, I am a Church of God in Christ child. God, we do thank you for the opportunity that you've given us to come together to expand our knowledge, to increase our skill base, to make sure that we are able to serve your people to the best of our abilities. We ask, oh God, that you bless and touch our minds, our wills, and our understanding. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right. So I do have, this spring I will be facilitating or instructing the course Ministerial Ethics. And so that is the course that I have up on my screen. I am, over the next few weeks, definitely learning this course. This is not one that I put together. So I have printed out the syllabus, and I have purchased the books, ebooks. I did them as ebooks, and starting to read those, at least this. And this evening I printed out the notes page for week 1, and I noticed that the previous instructors didn't have notes, so I'm definitely going to have to read and add my notes and become familiar with the screen, the slides. So this is the Ministerial Ethics screen, and it is not scrolling. Let's see. So I'll move a little bit with my, oh, there we go. Okay, so this is the different weeks. It has 13 weeks. It looks like my laptop is definitely slowing down a little bit as it scrolls. Okay, so one of the things I did recently, well, was added, I was thinking about what you said, Elder Ward, and I added the slide, trying to update them. And so I have the slide 1 presentation. I renamed it 2019, kind of turned it around. They had week 1 slide presentation, so I did a save as. And that was interesting, trying to figure out what they had here versus, well, how to do, what type of file it was. Let me turn on the, turn on editing on.
When you're teaching, you probably don't need to have editing on.
Okay.
But right now, I understand why you're turning it on.
It's a, and this is interesting that it is that it's this slow in opening up. It was whipping right along before I logged in, but and I know, I'm sure you covered this, but as I was looking at this just before logging into free conference call, the knowing which, what to pick to name the slide presentation versus the assignment, I wasn't really sure. So what I did was really look at what they had in here to figure it out and try to match up the icons. And so I guess I wanted to ask you that, Ella Ward, what's the best way of figuring out how to assign, and I'm going to see if I can. So I went to edit settings and really looked at the icons and copied. And I guess my question to you is, how would you know if you're creating a course, which one to pick? It was, this is frustrating me just a little bit.
Okay. I noticed that this is a page. You selected to make a page. Is that your assignment? You say...
This is what they had.
Okay.
They had this called the assignments and checklist. And so what I did was open up what they had to see which one they selected. And so this particular document was selected as a page.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you covered this, but what is the difference between this being a page versus creating, say, a Word document and importing it out?
A page is strictly on the Moodle. In other words, it's created on the Moodle and it stays on the Moodle. The other ones, like a slide deck or a Microsoft Word document or whatever, are typically created locally and then uploaded. But what the thing that is called a page, it's literally just another page within the Moodle that you put information on.
Okay.
It has no format except what you select. I want this to be larger, I want this to be bold, I want this to be centered, etc.
Okay. So for everyone, this is, as I was saying, it has 13 weeks. Week 1, Introduction to Ministerial Ethics. There is a slide presentation. There is a checklist that shows all of the different assignments and everything for this week. Case assignment instructions. And another question for you, Elder Ward, is this has a forum discussion topic, but I couldn't figure out where the forum is. So I couldn't remember if you had covered that or not. You probably did, but I just, in looking, couldn't figure out where to go for the students.
Okay. Within the Moodle space, you can create as many forums as you like. The ethics course has been taught by the Bells, Elder Archie Bell and Dr. Frida Bell, and as such, Dr. Frida Bell loves the use of forums each week. So if you go through the course, this one or New Testament Survey, I think, are the two main ones. Each week you'll see a forum. So like right where it says for week 1, skip the one at the top that says News Forum, but under Topic 1, if you roll down a little further, you'll see there's a forum there.
It's and scrolling. There it goes. Right here.
Yeah, that's the forum. So if you just click on it, don't click on the edit or anything else, just click on it just as if you're a student, and it will bring you up to a forum. It should bring
you. And so then they would just...
They would click that.
Okay, it's processing. It's slow this evening.
Okay, so if you were... I'm sorry. Go ahead, Evangelist Brent.
Excuse me, are we supposed to click on that?
Oh.
Choppy. Are you telling us to do that?
No.
Okay.
That's a very, very good point to make. When you are teaching, it's probably not best to have your students also in the Moodle. They should be paying attention to what you have on the screen so that you can be speaking to them and narrating to them. If you want them all to do something at the same time, that's fine. You know, set aside 5 minutes for them to go in and complete the forum or something like that. But otherwise, no, they should be watching you in the Moodle, not necessarily in the Moodle themselves. That's a very good question, Dr. Turner. Very good question.
Okay. So I would have, seeing if it will go back to the opening screen where it shows ministerial ethics, and the week that I'm on, which, say for tonight, it is week 1, and just possibly run through what we'll be covering on tonight. Chapter 1, the introduction to ministerial ethics. I'm going to go through the PowerPoint and then remind you what the assignment is for tonight or for this week. Maybe even show them what the forum question is and say, once this is just part of what you're going to be doing on this week, you need to make sure you go into Moodle and answer this particular question. And I'm trying not to click too many times since it seems to be there. So this is what I want to have up when they first come in, and just run through what we'll be doing and then show them that forum discussion topic. You have until, I think on here they have midnight, Sunday night or something like that to complete that. And then this is the PowerPoint for the evening. And I'll just go through the PowerPoint. This needs to move over somewhere. But at this point, I can just minimize this, correct?
You can minimize the green control panel?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Okay. Okay. And then going through the slides, discussing, having conversation about the different slides. Do this the way I do it live, because I use printouts for my PowerPoints and when I teach class on Monday nights anyway.
There's one thing to think about, as if you are using, like in this case, the PowerPoint slide deck in PowerPoint at full screen, which you are.
Okay.
You're using your mouse. I can tell because I hear it clicking each time you do that. You can also use the up and down arrow.
Okay.
That doesn't have that same mouse click.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. I remember when we first started doing this, we were all learning, and we would like have our mice on tables that would make noise, and you'd click on it and it'd go boom, and then it'd change slides. Boom, and it'd change slides again. The mouse click was very, very it stole the show every time you clicked on something. So I've learned how to do it.
Computer mouse.
Yeah, you can use the up or down arrow to accomplish the same thing.
Up down keys. Okay. All right, I'm making note.
One other thing you might consider, and this is totally up to you, but you might consider saving your slide decks in Adobe PDF format.
Okay.
That way you don't have to have PowerPoint running while you're teaching, especially if you are concerned about things like memory usage.
Okay.
Just open up Acrobat Reader and it'll do the same thing.
So that's what I'll do with all of these then, is resave them, because they have them in here as PowerPoint. So I just did a save as and put 2019 so I wouldn't do anything with what they had.
Excellent.
Okay. So save PowerPoint as PDF. Anything else? Ladies and gentlemen, suggestions?
There is one last thing, and I'm just doing this because I'm thinking about it. Over in, let's see if I can find it. I'm going to go into one of my classes and see if I can do this right. I'm actually, yeah, okay. On the left-hand side of your screen, you see the little administration dock?
Yes.
Okay, if you click on it, it opens up a number of things that we all see. I mean, it doesn't really matter whether we see it or not. But down at the very bottom it says switch role to.
Okay.
And if you click on that, and one of them is student. If you switch the role to student while you're teaching, then all of those little extra icons disappear.
Okay.
And it looks just as if you were a student in the Moodle. Now, that will remove your ability to see hidden items. It will remove your ability to edit anything, but it makes the screen very clean for your students, and that will also be identical to what they see when they go in throughout the week. You notice all the little icons have disappeared.
Right. Okay.
So while you're teaching, this is probably the best way to do it. It cleans the screen for them all.
Change my role to student.
Yes. And that's in the administration doc.
Okay. All right, Elder Ward, I'm done. I may do this again, but for my first time out the gate, I'm done.
Okay. All right. I think you're doing.
At least I think I am. I don't know.
No, I think you're doing very well. Anyone else? Anyone else have any observations to make? Anyone?
I have a question. Do all the classes have to be an hour and a half? Is that standard?
No, they can be any length that you choose, but each jurisdiction determines the minimum amount of what's called face time.
Okay.
And most jurisdictions that I know of specify 15 to 18 hours of face time per class. That's equivalent of people sitting in a classroom time. So if you're teaching, let's say you've got a 13-week course, a 13-week semester, and you take 1 week off for your workers' meeting or your Holy Convocation, which they're about 6 months apart, if you take 1 week off, you're down to 12 classes. Oh, okay, and then to get your 18 hours, you have to teach an hour and a half each time.
Okay.
So that's where that hour and a half comes from. Yeah, it's a face time estimate. If you go the full 13 weeks, you are basically telling your students not, you have scheduled a time that does not conflict with Holy Convocation or workers' meeting, so it's not on a weekday evening. So, that's your choice, but that's where that hour and a half comes from.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Anyone else?
Well, this is Dr. Span. I came on because I had spoken with Dr. Turner yesterday. She wanted the book because she's going to be teaching the course, Women in Ministry. And you, as you know, it's not up to par. And she had mentioned some concern about her doing the first time. So what I'm offering to shadow teach with her, if that would be okay with you.
Okay with me?
I'm getting you to
yeah, I've been out of the loop. I've been out of the loop for a while, and so I'm out. I looked at the syllabus and everything. I tried to put that back in yesterday, but I lost, how to do some of those things. So that's what I would say. I would be willing to. I told her she could even do, use me for, guinea pig or whatever, and do what you're doing here this evening to help her, just to feel comfortable or whatever. So, do you think that's doable?
I think that's wonderful, Dr. Span. Also, the fact that she's interested in teaching a course that you have taught online.
Yes.
I think that is excellent.
Okay.
I really appreciate it, Dr. Spam, and also Elder Ward. I appreciate everything that you've done.
Just so everybody knows, Dr. Span was my very first student.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
We made history. We made Kojic history.
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Watch out now, you don't tell your age.
No. It was like a couple weeks ago. Yeah. That was
Yeah. One thing, Elder Ward, I would need your help getting this back. But I was looking at it, and it looked so stark and naked, and I had to update the syllabus, and I wondered how to get that done.
Well, what I recommended people do, and I think based on this, I've seen a few people asking about the syllabus. I'm going to take one syllabus from any of these courses, and I will strip it down and say, put your name here, put your course name here, put your textbooks here, put the date and time that the course is being taught here, put your contact information here, and week 1 describe it, week 2 describe it, etc.
Okay.
I will just do a straw man document in Microsoft Word, and then you can just fill it in, and you will have your syllabus ready to go from that.
Okay.
Does that work for everybody?
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Happy to do that. In fact,
Thank
I'm
you so
going to grab an old syllabus from a while back.
Okay.
To make sure that it is still pretty robust.
Okay.
So yeah, we can do that easy.
Okay.
Okay. Evangelist Fields, anything?
Yes, sir. No, I think that's it. Somehow or another, I got disconnected and had to log back in, but glad to see everybody was still there.
Yeah. That is actually a setting in freeconferencecall.com where, just so everybody knows, you can set it. I don't recommend you do, but you can set it to where the session won't start unless you're there. Which, if you're a little bit late, let them get started if they can.
Where it says wait for host, have
right.
that off.
Have that off.
Okay.
Yeah, that would probably be the most eclectic, especially with all of us in our hectic schedules. You get caught in rush hour traffic coming home,
right? And
you don't want your students to suffer because of that. So that's just my thinking.
So how can they get started without the host?
Well, if there is a requirement for like a forum submission, you can give instructions to the students. I'm going to be a little bit late. Send it out in email to your students, but say, I'm going to be a little bit late. Please review your forum answers, and I should be there in the next 20 minutes or so, or something like that, where the one thing that is important to note about online training is that your students, you should deputize them. It's sort of like, if you remember way back in, 100 years ago or so when we were all in grade school, the teacher would ask you to go up and put things on the chalkboard. The reason for that is they wanted you to participate. Well, the value of online training is it becomes very, very collaborative. And by the end of your semester, your students should be teaching each other. If you have done it right and you've brought them all in collaboratively, they should be pretty well able to assist in the gaps where you're occupied elsewhere, or you're having some sort of technical difficulty with your microphone or whatever. They should be able to help fill in those gaps with each other.
Okay.
So that's my recommendation. So, any other questions? Would anyone else like to offer to host a free conference call meeting right now, and we will disconnect from this one and join yours? Anyone?
Dr. Brent shook her head, no.